know that the root causes of most problems, both in aviation and in the medical world, has to do with communications, since we spend a lot of time on communications. We also know that people communicate differently. Most doctors want just the facts. And often the nurses and some of the other people want more of a narrative. So somehow we have to bridge that gap so we communicate effectively together and efficiently. There was a study done asking, how do you define good collaboration? And when nurses were asked, they said, having their input respected. And then when the doctors were asked, their response was nurses that follow instructions. So as we say, Houston, we have a problem. There's a little difference. There was a study done in 2010 on the effects of team training. Does it really work in the OR? And prior to team training, there was 56 errors and 75 observations of the OR. Once they did the training, they reduced that to 20, which is a huge 65% decrease. So we know it does make a difference in the OR. Good communication make teams work. Team behaviors we know does save lives, or it can cost lives, depending on how you work as a team. The question is, which team do you want to be on? Some of the tools I'll quickly go over are active listening, inquiry, advocacy, SBAR, and the cuss words. Now, not those cuss words, although I've heard them used before in the OR, but these are a little different. An example of advocacy. So advocacy is trying to get somebody else to understand your position and why you might want to do something differently. Little Rock, Arkansas, American Airlines airplane coming in for a landing. It's a dark and stormy night. This is often how these things go. And they land, but they land a little long and ended up going off into the runway. As a result of that, there's a few people that died, including the captain. The first officer, the co-pilot, the gentleman in the right seat, was asked, well, what did you say during the approach? And he said, go around. What that means in pilot language is it's a specific terminology that means don't land, there's a procedure, go around, and try it again. They didn't do that. Now, of course, we have the voice recorder. When they pulled the tapes and listened to it, what he really said was something more subtle. Something like, it doesn't look good out there. You know, just like Eastern 401 with the air traffic controller. Subtlety doesn't work. Same thing in the OR. Say what you mean. Be direct. We can't read your mind, but often people expect that. I see it in the OR. We throw out trial balloons, and people don't get it. Be direct. That's the way you effectively advocate. Take a look at this video.
Welby, check your final position. I'm going to take her down.
Wait a few more minutes,
Do as I say.
It looks like...
Do as I say.
Give him a few more minutes.
I've already waited too long. Here we go.
No, we don't. Now, hold yourself, yellow.
Hopefully everybody in this room knows that that was John Wayne. Now, John Wayne was effectively advocating for something. Okay. So, the first step in effectively advocating is to get the person's attention. And I'm not saying necessarily the way John Wayne did it, although we know people that do that, and it is effective, but you got to get their attention. Express your concern. Be specific about what the problem is, and also propose an action. What's the alternative? What do you want them to do? And then reach a decision. Okay? And once a decision is reached, whether it's a decision you agree with or not, you have to support them. That is not the time to pull away from the team because you don't agree with it. Remember, there's only one person. You know, the attending is the person who's going to make the final decision in the OR. Or if it's, you know, an airway case in that, you know, it'll be the anesthesiologist. So one person makes that final decision, hopefully with good input from their team.